Welcome to the Body Activation Explorations Thigh Abduction Adduction with Knee Flexion. So again, thigh in and out with the knee bent. Really simple. Our journaling exercise is again, number one, what do you currently feel? Where do you feel it? And can you accurately describe it? Put some names to it. Now, how is it affecting how you move and how you feel today? We're going to do each side 6 to 12 times. Do it nice and slow. Make sure that it's pain-free with no cramping. And the controlled pace is about 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down, or in and out. And what we're looking for is a position that is difficult to control and pain-free. So you're going to journal that down so we can build an exercise for that later. Our first position is going to be standing. And what I'm doing again is putting my hand on the bench for a little stability, and I'm watching how my knee bends. I'm trying to keep my thigh in one spot and keeping it from going forward, but if it moves forward a little bit, that's okay. I try to keep my thigh from spinning in and out, like an external, internal rotation. And from here, I'm just letting the thigh go out to the side and come in without that foot getting closer or further away from the body. It's almost as though, again, I'm doing that snow angel in a perfectly straight line of the thigh, keeping my knee at the same angle. Can I be aware of how I'm controlling the knee and the hip at the same time? And that takes a little bit more, attention. And that's exactly why we're doing this, to build up that awareness. Now we're going to switch sides and do exactly the same thing. You can have your hand on the wall or a chair, just any way to be supported so that you can pay attention to the knee rather than worrying about your balance. And if you have got great balance, that's awesome. But again, this is about control and awareness of the leg rather than focusing on balance. So we're doing the same thing with the opposite side. I have a little more difficulty controlling this hip, so I'm actually looking down at my leg. If you need a mirror, that's fine too. I'm just slowly bringing the leg to the side and back in, respecting how much range I have. Some people call that flexibility. We're just playing with how much range and motion we have. That's all we're doing, and respecting that. If it gets a little fatigued, just stop. That's totally fine. We're not pushing through fatigue. We're respecting it. So from here, I'm on my back. The knees are bent and the hips are bent. And I'm sliding the foot along the surface of the table. I'm going to have a different shot coming up very shortly where you can see it from the leg point of view. And I'm sliding that foot on the table and back. And notice how my right hip is a little to the side. So I can bring my leg across the body. The foot is tracking how much rotation I have at the hip. So the knee may rotate a little bit, but again, we're trying just to get that thigh to go out to the side and then slide in. If this at all feels awkward on the knee, just stop. You notice that my right side I have trouble controlling, so I'm actually watching that right thigh go in and out. Now remember, the whole purpose of this is to pay attention to how you move and how you feel. We are staying within ourselves, which means we are respecting how we feel, the range of motion, and we're using that information to build our actual exercise when we're done. So from here, we're going to go to our right hip. I support my head with my bottom arm, and I raise my thigh up. I'm almost in a straight position with the knee bent. So my hip is almost at zero or neutral, but it's slightly forward, around maybe 10 to 15 degrees. And I'm slowly bringing one leg up off the other. And you notice that my shins are parallel with each other, so it's forming a circle as I go up and away from it. If, again, this feels awkward on the knee at all, stop. The whole point is to make sure that everything feels secure. Now from here, we're going to go to the stomach. And this one's the most difficult because it's really easy to start spinning the thigh out and in rather than sliding it across the table. So you want that foot pointed right up towards the ceiling. And in doing so, we are rotating the thigh a little bit. We're going to proceed to do this on both sides. And getting back to the topic of staying within yourself, we're only doing what we can do today so we can heal from it to progress tomorrow. The whole point is that we're doing the right amount of exercise and causing the right amount of gain so that we can easily heal from it and do more tomorrow. So doing more today usually equals a sunburn versus a suntan. It's like going right outside after you've had no access to sunlight and you're like, oh, I'm going to be out there for an hour. Well, the first thing that happens is usually a burn rather than a tan, or a callus versus a blister. So we're going to slide that thigh across and just respect what you can do. When you're tired, just finish it up. And again, what we're looking for is a position that's difficult to control with zero cramping and zero pain. And it's okay to say that you feel a little tight. It's okay to say that something's a little achy. Just respect it and move on from there. And that's what the journaling process is for, so that you know exactly where things were achy and or sore and how it changed from the first time you did it to the last time that you do it. So from here again, I'm slowly raising that bent knee position up of the right thigh. I'm supporting the head with my arms, actually both arms. I'm wrapping it underneath my chin, and I'm again progressively slowly raising that thigh to respect the current range of motion that I have. So we go from standing to on your back, to the right side, to the stomach, to the left side, and that completes the cycle. Now that we're finished going through the cycle is our second part of the journaling process. What do you feel now that you're done? Can you accurately describe that with a new feeling? And then how do you move now compared to where you started? Now let's build the exercise from the position that was difficult to control without pain and without tightness, so that we can get it to move better and feel better in a matter of seconds.